Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Hi, welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Justin Riley.
And I'm Jessa Jeremiah.
And we are really excited to be here at Xander's Interiors here on Monroe Street in Madison. What a cool place this is.
This is a fabulous place. You may recognize the signature orange door outside.
Yes.
And if not, make sure you come check it out. It's a sweet spot to shop and get some ideas.
Absolutely. And it feels, it's got a very outdoorsy feel to it, although it's indoors. So that's
Yes.
kind of a cool thing.
Summer's here. We're starting to sit outside finally.
Yep. Kids are out of school.
Yes, and we're decorating our outdoor space. Doug Xander, owner and designer, is going to give you some tips
Yes.
on your outdoor spaces and what we can do with those this summer.
And since the kids are out of school, you might want to think about what you can do with the kids this summer. If your kids are in any way in need of an adjustment at the chiropractor, you'll want to stick around for Dr. Bailey Nye from All About Chiropractic. She's on our show Girl Talk.
She is. She's fabulous.
She's going to be doing a demonstration for us on her daughter, actually.
Yeah,
So that'll be
absolutely.
kind of fun.
And it's never too young to start. I've got my 7-week-old baby going to the
Right.
chiropractor.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
Yes.
And Justin, you have discovered Martingilio Martial Arts.
Yes.
I love saying
Yes.
it. Martingilio.
Yep, he's going to be talking to us about some self-defense martial arts techniques and the difference between doing that and kind of doing the more show-off type stuff. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's all
We'll be
coming up
back.
right here on Wisconsin Family. Stick around.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Hey folks, welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are sitting here in the fabulous Xander's Interiors, and what a great space for our show today.
Yeah, nice open space. I really love it.
Absolutely, lots of bright colors and design ideas. We're going to talk to the owner later. Right now, we are going to talk to Christopher Martingilio, and if that's not a name to remember, thank you so much for joining us, for
No problem.
starters. So you are with Martingilio Martial Arts.
That's correct.
What a memorable name. I just love the name.
Yes.
I'm going to say it 5 times if I can get it in. But I was looking at your website last night, excited to talk to you about what you do. So you actually have services for kids as young as 4 years old, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that. That's fascinating to me, starting so young. What are the benefits of doing that?
Well, by starting the kids at 4 years old, we actually get to start that social interaction. Ambidextrous use of hands and feet. It's incredible to see these kids grow and keep them for years. Martial arts is supposed to be education, not recreation. And so
Okay.
we kind of combine both of those two things so that they become used to doing these exercises and activities. It's natural for them to do it the rest of their lives.
That's a really good point. Starting them that early, then it just sort of becomes ingrained in their fiber as
Yeah,
they're young.
absolutely.
I like that, education, not recreation, too.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
very good. So you, there's other folks that do teach martial arts to kids.
Yes.
Talk to us about what makes Martingilio martial arts a little bit different.
The difference really between different schools is competitive martial arts versus life protection arts.
Okay.
Martial arts should be, and in the past was always taught as self-protection. And then over the years, it started to become more competitive, flashy. Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee came into the picture.
Yeah.
Big kicks, fancy stuff. But that's not really what it's for. It's for self-protection, and
Right.
it was never meant to be anything else. And so the difference between the two schools is I'm 100% self-protection, whereas many of the other schools are competitive.
Okay.
And so tournaments don't happen in our school, whereas the kids that go to other schools would be more interested in the competition side of things.
So you're teaching this mainly as a life skill
Absolutely.
to have, hopefully if not needed, but
Hopefully
in case
never
it's needed.
needed, yes.
And what a nice thing to know just from a protection standpoint as a kid and as a parent who has children, growing
Right.
up, that they can defend themselves. Hopefully they don't need to.
Absolutely.
I'm interested too. So we know we've got children's classes. Do you actually have adult classes too?
I do have adult
You do?
classes.
Okay.
We have a huge amount of adults that come in, actually from all over the world to train with us.
Really?
But a lot of my students I've actually kept from the age of 4, 5, 6, all the way up, and I've now have them as adults. The rabbit hole is very deep when the martial arts have content. And so right when you think you know everything, you realize there's more to learn. And so it's that depth of knowledge that keeps people in my school for years and years and years.
Isn't that interesting? Wow.
Can you give us a couple of examples of some things that maybe people thought that they knew, and then as they kept coming back, they realized, oh, I don't know that as well as I thought.
Well, we use acupuncture principles,
Wow.
which is it's called Kyosho Jitsu. That would make it so that a weaker person could be very much stronger. So by latching onto a pressure point on the body, we get huge reactions. So we don't work very hard. And so by actually doing that kind of training with people, they realize, well, wait, I'm missing that point, or maybe I can target a little better, and the results are huge.
Wow.
And so just when you think you've got it, somebody new will walk in, a bigger person or a different size person, and I got to practice that just a little bit more. And so it's a constant cycle. I'm a 6-degree black belt. I've been training for 20 plus years. I'm
That's
still
intimidating.
learning. No. I'm still learning. I'm still learning every day. And so it's very deep in knowledge, and it's something you can do your whole life.
That's
Learning is
great.
lifelong in anything,
Lifelong,
especially
absolutely,
this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the different forms of martial arts. Now, with all the different kinds that there are, you've mentioned a couple today, are they all life protection forms, or are they intended to be some competition and some life protection? How does that work?
It used to be that some of these were transferred over to children's arts because of safety concerns.
Okay.
And so Taekwondo, Karate Do, Judo, they were given a competitive side because they wanted them to be a little bit safer. And that's how things have now progressed, is in the big tournaments and things. So very few people actually teach the old methods and the real methods of self-protection because it hurts people.
Okay.
And so that requires a great deal of self-control and training with people so that they're responsible with that information. So whether
That's
it's
important.
Tai Chi, Kempo, or my kickboxing class, it doesn't matter what we're teaching, the layer of self-defense is always there.
Okay.
Whereas other schools, why am I throwing a high kick? A point. It's 2 points to the head or 1 point to the body. You win the trophy with 3 points. So the method is kind of the same, but the outcome is different.
Very interesting. And I like how you mentioned being responsible with your skills, because ultimately that's really an important piece. You're teaching your kids to fight, essentially, and also teaching them that responsibility that comes along with that knowledge, I think is a really good point.
Yes, there has to be a great deal of responsibility here, because not only for myself as a teacher, if somebody's being irresponsible, I have to stop teaching them.
Absolutely.
So that's why we start them so young and keep them for so long, because we're cultivating that responsibility and those decision-making processes under stress.
So important. Well, Chris, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Make sure you check out Martin Giglio Martial Arts. What a name to remember. Thanks for sharing. We're going to be right back with more Wisconsin Family. We're chatting with Dr. Bailey Nye from All About Chiropractic. That's next.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are on location at Xander's Interiors on Monroe Street in Madison.
Yes,
what a
we are.
great place this is.
It's a wonderful place for our show today. I'm enjoying it.
Yes, and our next guest is Dr. Bailey Nye from All About Chiropractic. You might recognize her from Girl Talk. She's joining us today on Wisconsin Family. Dr. Bailey, welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Glad you could come in. And you're going to be talking to us a little bit about kids and chiropractic, and that's kind of a cool topic. But first of all, can you talk to us a little bit about what exactly a chiropractor does?
Absolutely. A lot of people think that chiropractors mainly concentrate on neck pain, back pain, and low back pain. But the truth is, a lot of chiropractors are more concerned about your health and wellness.
Overall.
Overall health and wellness. In order to do that, what a chiropractor wants to do is they actually want to check how your body's functioning. And our body functions through our central nervous system. Your central nervous system controls absolutely everything, and what they're responsible for doing is going in and checking to make sure that there's no interference with that body's ability to function.
Yeah, and I think that's so cool. We've talked about this with you a little bit in the past, but it's so neat to think about how much chiropractic care is responsible for. I mean, the nervous system, pretty important.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. A big thing that we're really concerned about is with subluxations, and I know we've talked about subluxations in the past, but
Yeah, so
that's
what
a
is
big
that
thing that we're looking
exactly?
for. Subluxations are basically any type of interference with the nervous system. The true definition of a subluxation is less than a dislocation, which sounds kind of scary, but really it can be any shape of bone or tissue out of an alignment that can put pressure directly on the nervous system.
Okay. And
Okay.
that's what you're primarily looking for.
Yep, because those
uncover.
subluxations will interfere with the message that the brain is trying to send to the body, so to different
see.
organs, cells, tissues, things like that.
This is kind of almost like by getting an adjustment, it allows your body to work more efficiently the way it was intended to, really.
Absolutely.
said.
Yep. Very well.
You know, I guess some folks might be wondering, you know, how is there any time that's too early for a child to get an adjustment? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure, sure. I actually have my daughter with me today, Declan. I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see her in a little bit, but there's really no earlier time than birth to get somebody adjusted, or at least their nervous system checked. She was adjusted as early as 5 minutes, so there's really no earlier
5
time.
minutes?
Yes,
5 minutes.
minutes after birth. And the reason is the birthing process is pretty stressful. When the baby, at least for a natural vaginal birth, is coming through the canal, it adds about 90 pounds of pressure to that little baby's head and body.
To just a 6 to 9 pound little body.
Yep, and it takes actually about 120 pounds to actually decapitate a person, so you can kind of see where that pressure variant is very intense and where it is necessary to get the body checked. Obviously, by
right
doing
away.
that, yep, it's
Right.
going to help them function and right out of the gate.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about kids and adjustments. Talk to us about some of the benefits for folks who are watching who haven't thought about chiropractic care for their children. Why should kids get adjusted?
There's a lot of reasons why kids should be getting adjusted. The primary purpose, or the most common reason why people come in to see us initially, is honestly just to keep them well, to prevent anything from happening, especially illness, ear infections, anything like that. A lot of times, though, people do end up seeing us with colicky babies, ear infections, bedwetting, different things with their
Sure,
digestion.
People are hearing that and thinking, oh, I didn't know chiropractic care can help that colic babies. I
absolutely.
mean, that's important.
Very important, absolutely.
So, you know, a lot of folks who are adults, they'll come in and they'll say, you know, they've tried different things because their back hurts, their neck hurts, and so they say, oh, maybe it's time to go see a chiropractor. And so those are probably, I'm guessing, more of the common reasons why adults would come and see you.
Yeah.
So what about kids? I mean, what are some more of the common reasons? You know, we talked about babies, colicky babies, but you know, when we get to the kids, when they're a little bit older, talk to us about some of the reasons why kids will come in to get adjusted, obviously with their parents.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes kids will have, you know, pain issues, but a lot of times they're more, a lot of times it's more dealing with their immunity. They may be in the doctor very frequently for colds, sinus, allergies, asthma type issues. Like we talked about, ear infections is a really big one. For that mom that's out there that's really struggling because she doesn't want to have to get tubes put in her kids' ears, what is a better option instead of going that surgical route? And chiropractic has definitely been known to help with those type of things.
Wow, that's so great.
That's kind of a
Immunity
relief
as a
for some
whole.
moms, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even for those colicky babies, if you're a mom or dad and your baby is crying constantly and you don't know what's wrong, could be indigestion, which is usually the most typical cause, but it could be some discomfort due to subluxation or misalignment as well.
Wow.
So those are all relieving factors, like you said, for
There's
parents.
so many benefits and potential ailments that chiropractic care can help and prevent. Any negative side effects?
The funny thing is, in all the years of practice that I've had, I've never had one negative side effect. However, there are some that, you know, we can be cautious of, like body soreness. Just like an adult, moving things that haven't been moved before or for a while can cause a little bit of muscle tension and muscle pain. Sometimes headaches can happen, but in the little kids, again, that's really not so prevalent. The only things I've seen are primarily good things.
Yeah, well, you're changing things and moving things, and the body responds.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much,
You're
Dr.
very
Bailey.
welcome.
For
Thanks
Dr.
for
Bailey
having
and
me.
I from All About Chiropractic, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Don't go away. There's more Wisconsin Family coming up right after this.
'Cause every day is a new day. Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are still here at the fabulous Xander's Interiors, and it's been just wonderful to be here so far.
It looks like there's it's a very outdoorsy place here inside, which is kind of cool.
We've got lots to talk about. This is a team that is highly sought after for their design and experience, and we've got nationally renowned owner and interior designer Doug Xander now joining us in your space. Thanks for having us
You
here.
bet. This is great.
So we're excited to talk to you a little bit more. Summer is here, thank goodness. And let's talk a little bit about design in the summer and what kinds of things are going on this time of year. What are your clients requesting?
I think because of the winters, right now everyone's kind of starting to concentrate on outside. You want to be outside as much as you can. You want to entertain outside. So I think that all becomes very important. So we kind of go from being concerned about what the interior looks like to maybe being a little bit more conscious of what the exterior is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to be outside as much as possible when we can.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely, especially in this state.
Yeah,
Yes.
really.
So, a lot of folks are obviously trying to design spaces for entertaining, for outdoor entertainment. I guess, could you maybe give us the top 5 must-haves for designing outdoor
Oh, good
spaces?
one.
Yeah, I think that you want to make sure that you have a comfortable space. So your seating, you want to be conscious of. I think of giving it to be maybe a little bit more of a warmer environment. So maybe by rugs, pillows, and there's so much great exterior products now. And it's nice to have some sort of a feature, whether it's a water feature or maybe a fire of some sort. And then, of course, always music of some sort. It kind of brings that whole living interior to the exterior. With all the needs.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of kind of crossover that's happening in summer.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, a lot. And
Yeah.
I think that's because of the whole mentality of being at home more and wanting to kind of use all of your home, not just the interior. And I
Yes.
think so many great spaces now, patios, porches, things like that. And a lot of the products are being manufactured to be exterior use, but they really have an interior look.
Yeah.
And whether it's the fabrics or even the styles of the furniture.
Well, you want to be as comfortable outside this time of year as you get to be inside because it's so great to actually get to be out there.
Right,
So
right.
absolutely. And are there any, let's talk a little bit about, for folks who are starting to design their outdoor spaces, what are some maybe new things that you're seeing in the market? We got to pick your brain a little bit today here.
Well, we're seeing a lot of furniture that's actually looks like upholstered furniture. It's furniture that looks like a sofa you'd have in your living room, but it's manufactured in such a fashion that it can be used outside.
Oh, that's
so
great.
it's both with the fabrics and the materials that they're using. So you really get a great, comfortable look, but yet it's something that's going to hold up to the elements.
They're really getting creative with that, being able to design these pieces for the exterior that are durable enough to be outside,
right.
but then that look like indoor pieces.
Right, and and that holds true with like the rugs that they're having for exterior use, and the fabrics, both for the upholstery as well as for pillows and things too, make a big difference. And they've really developed how they manufacture them, so you really are getting products that don't look like the Sunbrella fabrics of 35 years ago.
Yes, thank
Right.
you for mentioning that. Yeah, absolutely. But you also then you can leave them outside, and you don't have to be
Yes.
dragging them in and
Yep.
out. Because I remember those days too, when we have company over being young in my parents' house or something, and you got to go get all the furniture and place
Right.
it outside. Then you're done. You got to bring it back inside.
Right.
It's kind of a ritual here in the Midwest,
Yeah.
really.
Right. Yeah.
So, kind of speaking on that, a lot of folks, they buy furniture and other things for outdoor use with the intention of, I'm going to bring this inside. But there are obviously some things that can be used year-round now. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of that?
Well, and it all depends on how you're set up. I mean, a lot of people have porches, and you can use the porch, now extended amounts of time, depending upon how you supplement it with heat and protection from the elements.
We're always trying to extend that use, aren't
Well,
we?
and I think, and that's true, because we know that it's short-lived normally.
Yeah.
So that is really important, and that holds true with like the furniture and stuff, that having it more comfortable. But fireplaces make a big difference in how you can expand the time element that you're there. And our summers can be cool, at times even, and during the summer. So to be able to sit outside and have a fireplace that helps with the extending the time that you can be outside, just with the warmth factor of it, makes a big difference. And of course the element of just the coziness of it.
The
Absolutely.
warmth factor, I like
Yeah,
that.
It's important.
Yeah,
It's
it
important
is.
for me anyway.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about your outdoor. Do you have an outdoor space?
I do
to
have
start?
one.
What is Doug Zander's outdoor space like?
I have a porch that the house was built in '38, and had an old-fashioned screen porch. And when I purchased the home, I kind of updated it a little bit. I kept the screen system, but I put a fireplace in, and then converted the screens to have a storm system put on.
Oh, great.
So I use my space pretty much year-round. I mean, unless it's really sub-zero out, I can have a fire. It warms it up. And it really extends that during the winter, it can be very fun to be out there with a warm fire going, and you have this light snow falling, and you really
beautiful.
feel like you're outside, but so
Yeah.
that makes a big difference. And I have the upholstered furniture exterior use, so that really looks like a living room that's sitting outside in your porch.
What a cozy space. And I love that idea of being out and being able to look at the snow, but yet being inside and warm and cozy.
Right.
I
And-
bet that feels great.
Yeah, and it's a full screen. So and we've done, and if you've seen, just even going into the Parade of Homes, the aspect of a lot of screen porches, a lot of fires on the fireplaces on the screen porches. We're doing a lot of in-floor heating on porches
Oh,
to
yeah.
help extend that kind of comfort factor. So there's a lot of things that people have really been doing to use the exterior and extend the time that you can use it.
Talk about like a crossover, being able to have that space in the summer that you use
Yeah.
well and use frequently, and then carry it over to winter and have
Yeah.
it be warm and cozy even though it's snowy.
Why didn't we think of this sooner? I mean,
Yeah.
why is it just now that we're kind of starting to get to that?
You and I, he's on top
Well,
of
yeah,
it.
you're on top of it, I guess. That's why you do what you do.
That's right.
So, as I look around your store here, you've got such a variety of different items. Where do you get some of this stuff? Like, what are your resources for finding, the fabric and on furniture and so forth?
Well, we do a lot of, obviously outsourcing different shows and things at High Point Market, and, some of the big national shows, and that's kind of a constant hunt. And the internet with a lot of things too. It's like what we all do now, sourcing on the internet, working with local reps. Most of our reps are out of Chicago and Minneapolis. And kind of picking and choosing of things that we feel is unique and that our clients are looking for. So it's a constant hunt.
You really have to be on top of it and what's out there in the
Yeah.
marketplace, and going to these shows and knowing what's online. And
Yeah,
we're
it's a
glad
constant.
you do that.
It's a
You've got
constant.
the eye.
It's a constant process.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing some of
You
that
bet.
with us today. Thanks for
Yep.
having us here in your space. We
Okay.
appreciate it. Come see Doug here at Zander's Interiors and their fabulous team. Thanks for joining us today for Wisconsin Family. Please join us next time.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day